Something big happened at the cinema in May 1977. Yes, that film came out. It spawned a wealth of merchandise, but not really until the following year when it really started kicking into gear, because manufacturers weren't really ready for it. It sort of took everybody by surprise just how popular this film was. There were no die casts made immediately, but looking at the popularity of this film and the rumours surrounding it, and know it's going to be phenomenal when it came out in the UK, which wasn't until December, all those months later, toy manufacturers decided to look, and they decided that science fiction was a new way to go. There hadn't been an awful lot of die casts in science fiction to that point. Yes, Dinky had done all the Jerry Anderson stuff, but of course by the late 70s that stuff was all fading away because most of it was all done in the early 60s. Sorry, I mean the late 60s into the 70s, and wasn't really contemporary anymore. These are a series of endlessly on repeat. Matchbox had done a few futuristic-looking vehicles in their 175 range, but weren't really connected to any franchise. They were just sort of a bit spacey-looking, given weird names like Cosmobile and that sort of thing. They did produce, of course, the Enterprise and the Klingon ship back in 1976 into 77, but that was about all, really. So there was no real wealth of science fiction die-casts out there. But, of course, Star Wars changed everything, and it changed everything. Magazines started to appear. Fortunately, 2000 AD, that had started to be produced back in February, was in place, and so they could sort of capitalise on the success of science fiction. And merchandise producers, games started to be produced, all sorts in response to this film. And not just this film, the sort of other upcoming science fiction adaptations. There were also rumours in the middle of Star Trek and, the black hole and other stuff like this. So Matchbox decided that they were going to produce a series of science fiction-y vehicles that were going to be in the shops in late 1977 in time for Christmas to try and capitalise, and quite rightly, on the new science fiction boom. Now this range they called Adventure 2000, initially consisted of just 3 vehicles, later expanded. Now these, the publicity said, were die-cast, ultra-modern vehicles designed for the world of the future. They didn't really give a backstory to them, though. Or the only backstory that was given was, the year is 2000, the planets prepare for battle. Reenact the excitement of interplanetary conflict with the action-packed vehicles from Adventure 2000. So these development of the range had taken place in late 1976. The range were previewed in the Sunday Mercury as early as the 23rd of January 1977. They got 8 kids to review forthcoming Matchbox releases, mostly with images of them, and including kits and all sorts. And this was several months before they hit the shops. "I like these, they're for space," said one enthusiastic young lad. So these vehicles first hit the shops. I've checked newspapers, and it was around about August 1977 the very first one started to appear. Now, let's have a look at them. Okay. This is the first of the range. This is K2001 Raider Command. This was first known in the shops in August 1977. This is the very one that I had as a child. So this is the one that I was given at Christmas 1977. So forgive the acetate's been smashed to pieces, but then, it's very old. So let's have a look at it. I'll show you the box afterwards, so I've got to be very careful to take this one out. So rather than do it on camera, let's have a... Okay, there we are. Right. So before we look at the model, Stunning artwork on this box. I think there's something about the Matchbox artwork that they... Oh, look at that. Look, they managed to sort of, no matter what the vehicle was, to make it look exciting, even in their 175 range of sometimes very, very pedestrian utilitarian vehicle... you know what I'm trying to say, utility vehicles. They somehow made them look dramatic and exciting. This fantastic artwork there, look at that. Isn't that brilliant? On the base we have the other two that came out. They initially did 3. There are a couple more editions that you'll see in a minute or two, but they're the first 3. They only actually did 3 original moulds. Right, that's enough of the box. Now, they're actually held in by pegs. I can't find the peg for the back part, so I'll just simply take it out. Now, this one is secured in. You see, there's a blue peg in there, so if I twist it, it then releases your little car. And here we also have some space soldiers. Same 3 figures that appeared in all the sets. There were no variations. They just did the same 3 figures. Now, I do wonder if there's a little hint of backstory with these, you know. I think I'm the only person who's ever really said this that I've noticed online, and maybe I've got it completely wrong, but these two, either side of the central figure, seem to have their own different uniform to the one in the middle, who appears to be like wearing a jumpsuit, very much resembling the chap on the top of the box. So I wonder if originally the one in the middle is supposed to be like the Earth chap, and the two other side were supposed to be aliens, because their style is very, very different. Let's think out of Flash Gordon. This chap has even got a cape. But I digress. I may have got this completely wrong, over-interpreting it, but I've always thought that was a kid. Some great artwork there. Look at that in the background. Anyway. Oh, yes. And there's spare rockets. I've still got the spare rocket. And there's the sprue that came in. The other one's around somewhere. So, there's our Raider Command. The 2 pieces, they'd hook together. They hook together like that. Okay, there's just like a clip in there, held on by a spring. And if you press at the back of the control cab, just like that. I didn't intend to do that then, but you get the idea. It fires off. I'll do that again. I always going to get it on straight. There, click. So I press the switch again, the back of here. The kill, as it was in 2008, the killdozer will shoot forward. Excellent. Well, we also have on top, we have the rocket, which swivels and fires. Right, let's do it down here. 3, 2, 1. There. A Nemesis rocket, as it was called. Oh. Two spares you could take out. If you twisted that, I won't do it, for fear of breaking it after all these years. So, Matchbox 2000, Raider Command 2001, K2001, Leslie Products 1977, made in England. That's like the flagship vehicle of the range, and it came out at a price of £3. So, Raider Command. Now, interestingly, Raider Command entered into popular culture. It actually featured in a 2000 AD strip in the Judge Dredd epic, The Cursed Earth, that debuted in Prog 61 in April 1978. In its, Raider Command was restyled the Land Raider by the judges of Megacity 1 to transport a vaccine to Megacity 2, and doing so they had to cross the irradiated wastelands of the Cursed Earth. And this was their vehicle. They're going to travel across these wastes full of crazy people and mutants and cloned dinosaurs and all sorts of things, having numerous adventures along the way. in its first appearance in the strip, it was actually named as K2001 Land Raider, which was Mega City One's designation for it, which is also, of course, Matchbox's designation for it, the Adventure 2000 series being the K series, 2001 to 2006. So it looks like they adopted that as well. And the rockets on board were also called Nemesis rockets, which is also the name used by Matchbox. Well, what happened was that writer of the Cursed Earth, Pat Mills, had seen one of these Raider Command vehicles for sale down the shops in late 1977 and really liked the design. So he bought it and then contacted Matchbox, said, look, we'd like to use this design in a forthcoming Judge Dredd strip. And Matchbox agreed in exchange for some free advertising. And so adverts were then placed within 2000 AD to advertise their products, and later on, of course, the Adventure 2000 range. Matchbox also provided the artists. Here was Mike McMahon and Brian Boland with one each. So in other words, they could maintain continuity and accuracy with the model. So it worked both ways. It was good publicity for Matchbox, and everyone was a winner. Apparently 60 or so were then given away in a competition which was overseen by the mighty Tharg himself, as you can see from this advert. Also features in the wonderful 2013-2000 AD Judge Dredd fan film Judge Minty, about a retired judge who takes the walk into the Cursed Earth. In the background, in one of the scenes, you can actually see a wrecked Land Raider which have fallen over a cliff, as you can see here. If you haven't seen that film, why not? Go and find it now. It's on YouTube. It's brilliant. Judge Minty. The vehicle obviously left such a legacy with and popularity with 2000 AD readers that even today it continues to pop up in little cameo appearances in the comic strip. For example, this little shot here is taken from the 2022 story Babel, and you can see a whole row of a convoy of Land Raiders all waiting here in line. Second in the range, this is K2002 Flight Hunter. I love the price sticker on here. It says £2. No, £1. Sorry, £1.50. £1.55 at Gordon's in Broad Street, and that'll be Deal in Kent. And now I do remember, I know it's not interesting for anybody else, but I do remember that I got the Raider Command at Christmas in 1977. I thought I was so excited that I wanted the others, and I'm sure that I bought this one with some of my Christmas money in the next few days following, so I had both of them. Fantastic artwork, isn't it? So let's have a look. Do you know, I seriously have not taken this out of its box since probably about 1982 when I put these away. So seriously. Good Lord. Well, it's still in there. So let's turn the pin so it can, there we are. First of all, the box. There's our three chaps. And a flying car in the background. This car, of course. Flight Hunter. It's a good nick, isn't it? Flight Hunter, Leslie Products, 1977. We have our opening doors. Plastic moulded guns. But of course the feature is, as I'm sure you've all gathered, and I'm sure most of you know, the wings. So I think you press that down. Yes. Gosh, it takes me back. Let's do that again. Well, that click takes you back to childhood, doesn't it? Hearing that click. Let's press that again. There. Now we have the most unaerodynamic flying vehicle since Professor McLean's jet car in Joe 90. Great, isn't it? Next is Crusader. Crusader was a half-track vehicle with a revolving gun turret. K2003. It came out at the same time as the first two, and it cost £1.95. Oh, I must have been done, because look at the price label. I was £2.25 at Gordon's deal. Yeah, there we are. So 19. There we are, look at that. Anti-radiant finish, 360 degrees twin boron gun turret. Dramatic names, wasn't it? High-speed caterpillar tracks. That's like a contradiction in terms. And, yeah. Okay. Out you come, Crusader, for the first time in over 40 years. Yet more fantastic artwork in a diorama. These little men were painted. I know I did them. I know I painted them because I was bored looking at the silver one. But I mean, I was so young. I mean, I was probably about 11 years old, something like that. I think I probably painted them using the old Humbrol enamels used for making plastic kits from. Right, let's take you out, Crusader. Yeah, tracks are in good nick. Didn't really do a lot. You turn the turret. Gun goes up and down. And you've got your tracks. Well, I won't force them to go because you don't know how delicate these things are when they're 40 years old, if not more. I liked it. I thought it was a cool design. There's definitely a hint of Jerry Anderson about this one, you know. Okay, so there's Crusader. Shortly after the range was released, adverts started to appear in the local newspapers to advertise the range. This one is particularly interesting. This is the Dorset Echo, the 14th of November 1977, because it actually states Adventure 2000 toys as seen on TV. That implies that there was a TV advert floating around in October or November 1977. Has anybody seen a copy of it? I'd absolutely love to. Shortly after the UK release, the range began to be exported abroad. Here's an advert from the 1st of December 1977 from Simpson's department store in Toronto. Raider Command was $9.98, Flight Hunter was $4.98, and the Crusader went for $6.98. When I was researching this video, I stumbled across a lovely little curio I thought I'd just repeat to you. This stems from the Reading Evening Post from the 19th of November 1977 and was an Adventure 2000 colouring competition.
10 adventure sets to be won. In this week's competition, 10 complete sets of 3 Matchbox Adventure 2000 space vehicles and soldiers. Each set is worth £6.50. All you have to do is complete the picture using your skill in connecting the dots and your imagination to finish off the uncompleted figures. Then colour it in and complete the entry form. Send entries to Junior Post Competition, Features Department, Evening Post, Tessa Road, Reading, RG1 8NS. Closing date for entries is first post, Wednesday, November 30th. There will be another opportunity to enter next week.
The winners were all announced in the 10th of December 1977 edition. 10 winners in total, aged from 12 to just 4 years old. And they eagerly awaited their prizes. However, they weren't to turn up for Christmas.
21st January 1978. Winners in the Matchbox Adventure 2000 competition should also be getting their prizes within the next couple of weeks. There have been unavoidable delays, and we apologise for keeping you waiting.
And a week later, the Reading Evening Post had to publish another apology.
4th of February 1978. Once again, we must apologise to winners in our Adventure 2000 competition who have still not received their prizes. Some prizes did arrive, but not enough, and we are assured that the remainder are being sent. We know how disappointed you must be, so are we, and we are doing all we can to get the prizes to you as quickly as possible.
But eventually, all was good, and the lucky winners received their prizes, even if they had to wait to the middle of February. Looks like somebody made a mistake somewhere. Matchbox.
11th February 1978. The prizes in our Adventure 2000 competition have at last arrived, and they are being sent out to the winners early next week. Once again, we must apologise for the long delay, which was not Junior Post's fault, but due to some incredible mix-ups.
In late 1977, 2000 AD started to include a leaflet advertising the range provided by Matchbox. This leaflet, which showed the vehicles fleeing and battling a big monster, you could obtain if you sent off 75 pence and included the names of you and a friend of yours at school, and it could show you fighting the monster. 2 young lads appeared in the papers, 23rd of February 1978 in the Bladen and Tynesdale Courier. 2 lads here appeared, proudly displaying their poster, with one of them appearing with a name as Zorgon, the creepy monster.
Meet the holy terrors of Concept Junior School, Michael V and Jonathan T, who have their names boldly displayed on a space adventure poster issued by the Matchbox series. But it is really a case of coincidence, really, which is just as well, as it reads, meet the incredible Michael and the dreadful Jonathan as Zorgon, the creepy monster. The poster tells of Adventure 2000 and of a journey into the future. As expected, it has created quite a lot of amusement among the children to think that the names depicted are similar to those of their own classmates.
On the 21st of January 1978, the Wolverhampton Express and Star also ran a competition to win 10 sets. This time you had to solve 4 anagrams. Now Rocket Striker was next, K2004, and this was released a year after the first 3. So this one came out in 1978. As you can see, £2.50. This was not an original model. Unlike the first 3, which had been designed specifically, this was actually an adaptation of one of the Battle King's vehicles. The Battle King's missile launcher, that's right, number K111, which had been out for about 2 years since 76. All they really did was they repainted it and stuck some Adventure 2000 stickers on it. The military version, if you can call it that, was like a darker green colour. So really, you weren't convincing anybody really with this one. Nonetheless, twin magazine opens, rocket launcher elevates and fires, auto sight rotates automatically, 3 combat figures, which I appear to have painted again. Okay, let's have a look at you, Rocket Striker. I hope you're in good nick. It certainly looks like it. There we are. Oh, the box is starting to come apart there. Great artwork. Look at that. Oh, it's not held in with a pin, this one. It's just pushed into the cardboard. Oh, yeah, okay. What did I do with these chaps, honestly? Right, enough about that. So, Rocket Striker. Look, it's actually got the Battle King's logo on it, or numbering, K111 missile launcher. Didn't even change the base plate. Not there is one they really should do. Oh, wonky sticker there. Thank you, someone in the factory. To activate it, you'd pull this little red tab out here and hopefully, yay! Come on. Oh, let's see what's happened. That rocket is, there we are. Right, let's do that again. Okay, right. 3, 2, 1. So you've got one rocket. And spares. This you could turn and elevate like that. I always liked this one because I remember it was, I used to play with it with the Shadow Mobile, which was similar in many ways, dinky one, but bigger and heavier and chunkier, as most dinky toys were back then. And the rockets were more robust on the dinky one. But let's see if I can fire it. All right, 3, 2, 1. Yay! Still works. Gosh. This is such a nostalgia trip, this is. I haven't seen these for so many years. Well, it won't go back on now. No, that serves me right, doesn't it? I'll do it off camera. Right, so there we are. That's Rocket Striker. Now the big set, K 2005. This came out 2 years after the initial run of 3, so this was 1979. There are no new vehicles in this. Again, it's all repackaged stuff and repainted. It's rather a splendid set, isn't it, though? It looks beautiful. Look, £5.32 for this one. So, oh gosh, it's unwieldy. Let's have a look. Right, Adventure 2000. We've got the same artwork as the Rocket Striker. And this lovely picture there. And on the base we have an advert. Right, now let's very carefully take these out. Or not, as the case may be. I don't want to force it, that's the trouble. Come on. Let's try the other side. Come on. Here we go. Yep, it's coming now. It's really beautifully done, isn't it? Look at the colours, they're fantastic. So, here we have the same. Oh, this one's held in by, yeah, that's right, it was held in by, it's exactly the same. That's the one you've just seen, Rocket Striker, except there is one tiny difference. They've changed these stickers. The previous ones are all a star, but now we've got a little sun shape. That was red on the other one. So let's see if it's all in there still. Yes. Okay. Now, these are the three. Scales are all very strange. This is just simply the SRN6 hovercraft. Painted in Adventure 2000 colours. Look, number 72, 1972 from the 175 range. Cost cutting, you see. They can do this, then they haven't got to manufacture new things. Now, let's have a look at this one. This is the Cosmobile. Yeah, look, 1975, yeah, 1975 Speed Wheels range. And lastly, I think this is the Planet Scout, was it called? Yeah, Planet Scout number 50, again from the 175 range. Speed Wheels. Right, so okay, that concludes the ones that I have got. There was another one that was done that I don't have, but it's very, very hard to get hold of. Right, just before I show the sixth vehicle and we begin to wrap up, I thought I'd just show you the vehicles that went in to create the command set, the original versions. This is the 1975 missile launcher, the Battle Kings K111. As you can see, it's exactly the same, apart from the stickers and the colouring. It's identical. There we are. Right. The hovercraft was originally this one, which was the Matchbox number 2. 1972, I believe this one was. And it came out with rescue livery originally. The Cosmobile was 1975. Came in 2 different colour variations. This original box. And this version, the first version was in red. So you see you've got a red and a blue. And lastly, we have the, oh dear, yes, we have the Planet Scout as well here. That's the night, which also came out in 1975, along with the Cosmobile. And this one was also available in, well, later on, it's also available in this dubious dark green colour as well. So yeah. So those are the vehicles that went in to create the command set in their original colours. And in the 1970 and 1980 catalogue, there was a little bit of extra background material. The Interplanetary Commission prepares for an expedition to planet Zito. The sixth vehicle was called Shuttle Launcher K 2006. This appeared in the 1979 to 1980 catalogue only, and with all the others, they were all recast in a sort of deep metallic blue, a dark blue colour. Some of the orange windows of the earlier green models were replaced with magenta. Now, it seems that none of these none of the recoloured, the standard ones ever actually made it out to market. We think possibly that the Cosmobile and the Planet Explorer vehicles were repackaged and sold in a 175 series boxes in dark blue. There was no official blue release of the Raider Command, Flight Hunter, Crusader and rocket launcher. It just didn't happen because the range was cancelled. The range was cancelled before they were released. However, the curious one is, as I said, K2006, that the shuttle launcher, now that was released. Not for long. It seemed to be based on the Crusader chassis with a large plastic device on top, which you could launch. It was like a launching rail for metal discs, like mini frisbees. Now, not many of these were made, and they command very high prices. I mean, you'd be lucky to get one for under 150 quid now. They're very rare, and sadly I don't get one. I haven't got one. I suppose by the time this came out, it would have been about 81. I was probably getting a bit old to be playing with these things. I wasn't that fussed about it, even if I'd seen it. So, but you know, who knows? So no, the range sort of fizzled out. By 1981, the shops were offering great discounts on them to sort of shift the stock. I mean, I found an advert for the main stop in Banbury. It was actually offering the command set that you've just seen with a free Flight Hunter for just £3.99. So by 1982, the whole range had been retired, leaving us from 77 to 81-ish. We had a good 5 years of these rather nice models, and they've left a bit of a legacy, really, because we all still know them, we all still talk about them, and people look at them with great affection, really, because they were quite imaginative and they were good fun. Anyway, thanks ever so much for watching. All the best, and if you like that one, please like and subscribe. Much appreciated. Bye-bye.